Okay. I think we should be good now. So thank you very much everyone for joining. Fulera, do we have the recording on?
Yes, it's recording.
Okay, thank you. So today we do have Fulera with us. I think most of you might know Fulera by now. And we also have Brother Latif from Saskatchewan with us. So the two of them are going to assist us with the application. So if you ever need any clarification on any question regarding the prairies, which is basically the Manitoba and then the Saskatchewans, feel free to reach out to Fulera or you reach out to Latif. But before you guys reach out to them, I want us to be very clear on one or two things. That is to say, we are very clear on the roadmap, what is expected of us. Now that most of you do have the admission in, and I think some of you are also expecting your admission to come in probably in a week or two time. So we are hopeful that you receive your admission soon. So this is going to cover Canada, as I mentioned earlier. These are the 7 key points that we need to keep in mind before you even reach out to any of the mentors that we are going to assign you to, if there is a match for that matter. So the very first point here has to do with you securing your position. So those in Manitoba, you might have realized that your admission letter came with a condition that you needed to pay an amount of money before you secure your spot. So with this, just like what Fulera did earlier for the admission fees, she's going to assist you guys with this. So if, for instance, you don't have a credit card and or even if you have a credit card, realize that the rates are a bit higher in Ghana, you probably might want to book a time with Fulera. But again, as I always mention, make sure you respect her time. So book a time with her, find a suitable time. She'll do the payment and you just transfer the money via mobile money using whatever rates is suitable as of that time. So Fulera just confirmed with me that she will be available to assist you guys when it comes to this. So I think we should have a month or so to complete this. Please do not delay. If you've already made up your mind that you are coming to Canada and you want to come to the school that was assigned to you, please make it a point to complete this aspect of it. And also the school will require you to send the official transcript. That's again, if you have any question on that, let me know, or probably let Fulera or Brother Latif know. They will assist you to know how the system works in that regard. It's very, very simple. You basically go to the registrar's office and get it stamped and then just post it right away. Thereafter, you receive the confirmation. And those in Manitoba, this is very important. I believe, Fulera, please correct me if I'm wrong. Those in Manitoba, after the school receives your official transcript, which again, I do want to stress, please make it a point to send it as soon as possible. You will receive the basic scholarship, which is the University of Manitoba. No, that's the IGES or Fulera. What's the name for it for that scholarship?
Yeah, international graduate student entrance scholarship.
Exactly. So make it a point to send it as soon as possible so that you get that letter, because that letter is going to be very important for you when it comes to your visa application. Sometimes you might not get the UMGS or other fellowships, but the fact that you have that scholarship is going to reduce a lot of fees and it's going to give you something to show to the embassy that you have some level of funding. So that's the first point. Basically, secure your place and send your transcript as required. Brother Latif, if you have any follow-up on this, please help me clarify. And Fulera, you can follow after that.
Farouk,
yes, Latif.
I'll first of all say congrats to all those who have gained admission so far and those who are still waiting on their admission. They're hoping that it goes through for them. Yeah, so like Farouk rightly said, that is actually of you coming to Canada here. Getting admission is one thing, and getting the visa is also another thing. So it is important to put in a very good application package, and you need to actually start early, because these days the number of study permit that the Canadian government is trying to issue has, like, you can see that there is a decline by about 35% from 2023 number of permit that they actually issued. So you have to make sure that you do have a very strong application, and make sure that all the documentation that is of you, everything is in place, and in that way you can actually go through it. So we are here to support, we are here to guide you, we are here to actually make sure that everything goes through for you. So if you have any questions, any concern, don't hesitate to contact us. I think the application process, whether you are going to Manitoba, Saskatchewan, or Ontario, I think the application process is basically the same. So do reach out, and if you have any concern, any question, you just ask, and then we'll be here to support you and guide you in the application process. Yeah, thank you, Baru.
Thank you very much, Sheikh Latif. Fulera, please, your 2 cents on this.
Hello, everyone. I would say congratulations to, and maybe this be the beginning of many more congratulations. And with the visa application process, like, try your best, and if you don't get it for this academic semester, you can always defer. Like, don't sleep on it. You can defer and start next year, January, like in my case. So don't let it like deter you from continuing to try. And also with Manitoba, the International Graduate Students Scholarship you mentioned, Brother Farouk, I want to let them know that it's for a certain GPA cutoff, so that I don't know everyone's GPA, but not everyone might get it depending on their GPA. I think 3.5 out of a GPA of 4.0. Yeah, and when they get it, I remember I don't know for now, I have not checked. When they get it, it will be stated on the admission letter, but like they won't receive a separate letter with regards to that, because I was also looking for something like that to attach to my application process, since I mentioned that I have that entrance scholarship. So I just made a screenshot of the email saying that, like, I have, after my I have submitted my documents, after I've gotten I have filled the confirmation email from them that I have gotten the scholarship. I made a screenshot of that email, so that in case I'm asked at the point of entry into Canada, I would show them. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Guys, make sure you mute. Hey guys, please make sure you mute, just so we can. Yeah, so that'll be the first one. I think we are done with the first part. Basically secure your spot and make sure you have your transcript and all that document sent as required. Now, if you guys have any question on this, please let me know before I move on to the second point. If you have a question, raise your hand. Fulera will call you, then I can get to see and pick up the question. Anyone with the first point? I think it's fairly clear on that for us to secure our spot. Good. Now let's go to the second point. This is where most of you need to start looking at when it comes to your relationship with the Canadian government. That's to say, how do I even start applying for the visa? Now, the good news is Fulera has a video on that. So when you click on this, it will take you straight to Fulera's tutorial session, where she walks you through basically all the steps that you need to create your account. So this is very detailed. It tells you everything you need to know. And as to where to find what, after this meeting, I'll make sure we do have the video as well as a slide. So she has this slide that basically takes us through it. So just let me know, send me your email address. I'll send you the link to this. and you can follow it. I mean, yeah. So this is basically it. So if you are wondering where do I even start, what's needed for me to fill out the forms, the good news is we do have the document to walk you through. And Fulera is the one that put this together. So there's a video explanation to it, and there's a slide to it as well. Let me know if there is any question if you guys have any question to this particular, side of things. So this is basically your account that you need to create with the embassy. Fulera, any 2 cents on this? Is there any revised
No,
version?
Brother Farouk.
Okay,
No.
okay, good. So if you're done with this, I believe, so before I go ahead, do you guys have any question as to how this is supposed to be done? Any question in there? Any question for the last time? Okay, that's good.
All right. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Please, I wanted to know, in creating the account, does it have any expiry date?
Fulera,
This is the first thing you have to do.
Yeah, Fulera, is it 3 months? Oh, correct me if I'm wrong.
It's 60 days.
60 days.
Yeah, so 2 months. Yeah. So when you create the account and start an application, you have 60 days to complete it. If you are not done, the application will be deleted, but you still have the account. Then you have to start a new application again.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Thanks so much. As I'm putting my documents together, latest first week in April, our contacts to help out. So I wanted to know whether I'm late or I'm still on track.
I think we are still on track. The most important documents, I think I'll explain them fairly soon, but the most important thing as of now is just get the accounts going, get to know what's needed, as Fulera pointed out in the video, just follow step by step, and it should be fairly obvious. Any question? Any question or questions there, guys? Okay. Fulera, anything that you observed that's needed to be called out during the account creation? Any question that you find to be tricky? And I also yeah.
Okay, go on, Brother Farouk. Finish.
Oh, no, I said either you or Brother Latif, because it's been a while on my end. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the application questions, the pre-questions are like the same. You just have to pay attention to like details, how to answer these questions. I had like screenshots of those questions when I was doing a presentation with these slides, but I don't think I have them. I have to look for them to send it to you to project it. So in the course of the presentation, when I find it, I'll send it to you so that you can project it, and we'll go through some tricky questions.
Okay, good. I think that sounds good. Hopefully I can put them here as well. So after today's meeting, you guys access this document, and then it will be fairly, easy to understand what's going on. So you can start looking for them, Fulera, and hopefully Brother Latif and I will continue with the discussion as well. Brother Latif, anything, because I believe yours, it's been a while now, so
Yeah, I think I recently created one for someone. I think the questions are still the same. There hasn't been any major change. So you just go through the basic questions. They'll ask you several questions, and you need to just provide the answers, and that would actually help them to know whether you are eligible to apply for a study permit or not. So, and they are quite, the questions are quite, the questions are quite straightforward. So, I think when Fulera sent them, we will see that it's not really anything difficult to understand in there. Yeah, so they have been the same. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Brother Latif. So after any question on the account creation, if none, then we can move on to the third point. Okay. So I believe if you're done with the account creation and you do the payments, I think there's going to be a payment here as well. It might be an
Sorry,
online.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Dr. Farouk, please, do you need to pay for the visa before you create your account, or you can just go ahead with the creation?
I think yeah, so that's gonna be the third point. So you create the account, you answer the questions, you upload the document that they require you to upload, make sure everything is complete. After that, they will ask you to make the payment. Right? That's a step. So unlike the US embassy where you go for in-person interview, in Canada, you don't go for in-person interview. You just have to upload all the necessary documents that they require from you. The letter of explanation, the admission letter, your bank statement, everything that they require, they will state it in the account. So you have to upload all the documents, your passport picture, everything, your passport, everything. So after that stage, then they'll ask you to make the payment, either online payment or in-person payment. So I believe the whole idea here is with the online, if you want to apply online, you create the account and off you go. But if you want to do a paper application, you probably might want to download all the forms. Then you go to the embassy and submit it. That happens to be during our time where there was a version of the online and then the paper application. But for now, I don't know how popular the paper application is. I know most of us do go with the online application as of now. While Latif and Fulera, let me know, do we still have the paper version?
For the paper version, I don't know, but even on the site, they tell you that it's like the online version is faster and easier. Yeah.
Okay. So that's a whole idea. So when you upload, when you give all the document that they require you to give, and they are sure that you've met all the requirement, that's where they will come in and ask you to do the payment. Here as well, with the online payments, I believe if Fulera is to have time, feel free to connect with her. She can assist you using her credit card, and you can do the mobile money transfer if there's a need for that. So that will be the third stage. Then they will ask you to come for biometrics. Correct, Fulera? Is that the stage? Is that the next stage after you are done with the payment? You go for biometrics, right?
Yeah. In like 2 weeks, they'll ask you to come for biometrics.
Okay. They'll ask you to come for biometrics at the center in Accra. I think it's Jolo, if I'm right.
But it's at Abelimpe.
Abelimpe, okay.
Yeah,
So
around Joel. Yeah, I think after Joel.
okay. So they'll ask you to come and then give your fingerprints and that'll be it. I don't think Fulera, I believe if you're done with the online payment, you wouldn't have to pay anything when you go for the biometrics, do you?
No, you don't have to pay.
Okay. So everything is done online. Okay, you do the payments online. Then they will ask you to
Yes.
come for the biometrics. Now, when you go for the biometrics, that's the only time that you tend to see the embassy staff if need be, where you just go give your biometrics and that's the end of story. You come back and they'll start processing your document. So that's the third stage, biometrics. Here, my experience with one of my students from last year was that indeed he went for biometrics, but it wasn't recorded and it was delayed. And at the end of the day, the embassy rejected him, saying that they did not receive his biometrics, even though he gave his biometrics. So be careful here, guys. Start early, as Fulera rightly mentioned, and Brother Latif also mentioned. Make sure your biometrics has reflected in your account. So when you go for your biometrics, keep an eye on your account to make sure that it has reflected in the account. If not, then there's going to be some issues here and there. So please and please again, biometrics very important. Make sure you track it to make sure it has reflected. So that will be the fourth point. Let me pause here. Brother Latif or Fulera, take over anything that I might have missed. Please point it out.
Yeah, I'll just add a little thing about the biometric. So with the biometric, like you rightly said, once you submit your application, you finish your payment. When you are doing online application for the first time, you make two payments. That is a biometric payment, and then the permit application payment. I think in all it's around $235. I don't remember now. Unless you are doing a subsequent application, for example, if your visa is being rejected and you are reapplying, then you don't make biometric payment for the second time. You only pay the $150. With the biometric, once you do the biometric, it is valid for 10 years. So, and anytime you do it, they would send you a confirmation letter, and you have to print it. You can actually print that letter. That is when you do an online application. Even if you do a paper application, I did a paper application when I was doing my permit in 2019. So they'll send you a confirmation letter via your email. But if you do an online application, you should be able to see the biometric in your application portal. So make sure that the biometric is, they have received the biometric information and they've sent you a confirmation letter for that. And from there, you can proceed to wait for rates or proceed to do your medicals when they call you or something like that. Yeah, that's what I'll add.
Thank you very much. I think you just raised a very important point, which is the medical. So I probably might want to point it out here. Okay. So, Fulera, any pointers to that as well, the biometrics, before we move on to the medicals?
No, I don't have.
Good. To the participants, do you guys have any question for us on the biometrics or anything so far? So we've done stage 1 to stage 4. If you have any question so far, please let me know. We do have Latif and Fulera to assist us answering them. Okay, seems we are good. So the next stage after your biometrics, or even before your biometrics appointment, is the medicals. Now there are, okay, Linda, go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry, I joined in late, but I have a few questions. So I got an admission offer from University of Manitoba. Yeah, but then I was thinking that they would have added the cost of attendance if I don't know, but that was what I was thinking. But they just came with the admission letter, and then later they sent an email that I qualify for the entrance scholarship, so I should submit my official transcript. Yeah, but then I don't even know the cost of attendance aside what is on the website. So I don't know if there's a problem somewhere.
The cost of attendance, do you mean the tuition fee or what? Sorry.
Yeah, the tuition fee, the school fees, everything.
Yeah. So I think we would, tackle that here when we discuss the idea of the forms that you need to fill and all that. But Fulera is also in Manitoba, and that's a good news here. Fulera is in Manitoba, so if you guys need estimate, she can assist with estimate, a fair idea as to how much is needed.
Okay.
Fulera, am I right? Fulera, am I right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so with Manitoba, they don't add cost of tuition on the admission letter because they calculate tuition after you've registered for your courses. So I remember during my time, I even had to email them to send me like an estimation of tuition fees and other things. But ideally, if it's a graduate program, a year will be like 14,000.
Okay.
Yeah, 14,000 Canadian dollars. So 7,000, around 7,000 for the first semester. and around 7,000 for the second semester.
Okay.
Linda, we have
Okay, thank you.
you have Fulera here. Those in Manitoba, I think we do have like 4 or 5 students from Manitoba this year, which is great. If you guys need any assistance, make sure you book a time with Fulera, the 4 or the 5 of you. I don't want individual meetings where you guys will exhaust their time. Just make sure
Okay.
that 5 of you organize a meeting with her. If you guys have any follow-up questions, you can ask it. Manitoba is very remote and is a very, very good school. So I'm happy that you guys are looking at Manitoba, and I mean 5 of you have gotten admission into Manitoba, which is great. And Fulera, again, thanks a lot for all the assistance so far. Any other questions before we move on? Any other question or questions before we move on? Okay, good. So we can then move on to the next part of it. So as you guys might have realized, I'm using the unpaid version of Zoom. So if we are to get, I mean, if we get cut off, I will surely, I mean, get it back on. So let's quickly go on to the medicals. Now here is the key area that we need to be a bit more mindful of. Medicals, yeah, University of Winnipeg as well. So Winnipeg, Manitoba, again, we do have a lot of students there. The good news is we are at the very first stage, which is the visa application. If there's a need for me to connect you guys with any student from Winnipeg or from Manitoba, I will surely do so. But for now, I think we are all in a very good shape. Now, for the medicals, I believe there are 2 schools of thought. The very first one being that there are those who go for the medicals even before the decision is made, and there are those who wait for the embassy to call them to go for the medicals before they go for it. I am of the opinion that you have to wait for the embassy to call you before you go for the medicals. However, if there is a delay, and this delay is like is a very serious delay, they've taken like 3 or 4 months to get back to you, then I would advise you to go get your medicals and get ready. So as soon as they call you, you know you have your medicals done. So let me just reiterate. With the Canadian embassy, you do have to do what we call a medical test, just so they can really examine to see that you don't have any sickness or any health-related conditions with you. During your application process, you can decide to go ahead and do the medicals and upload all the forms and submit it. Or you can decide to wait and let the embassy call you to go for the medicals. In either way, you do have to do your medicals. I've taken my position on this. I'm mostly on the other side that says just wait for them to call you before you go for your medicals. Unless, of course, there is a delay. And if there's a delay, then you can go do your medicals and make sure that whenever they call you, your medicals is already ready and they can issue you with a visa. Now, I will leave it to Latif and Fulera. Let me know your take on this.
With the medicals, I personally did the upfront one. So I did I did my medicals and added it to, and then added everything to my application document. So the advantage for that is that the visa officer, once you add that medical report to your document, it kind of makes the processing time shorter for you. So if the visa officer go through your document and everything is okay and they want to give you the visa, they go ahead and just issue the visa right away for you, instead of sending you an email that you should go and do your medicals and all that. And that can take like another two weeks to a month or so. The other side is that you can wait for them to tell you to go and do your medicals, which I think is also a possibility and then a good thing to do, because the medicals is valid for 1 year. So I don't know, for now it is valid for 1 year. So if you do an upfront medicals, you end up getting your visa and you happen to defer your program to the following year, you may have to do medicals in your subsequent application, depending on when you get it done in the subsequent year. So I think that is the only downside of it. But yeah, you have to know which one works for you. A situation where you know that your time is limited, then maybe the upfront medicals might also be a good thing to consider, because yeah, so that is what I would say about the medicals.
Okay, I think I agree with you on that. So yeah, hopefully Fulera will break the tie. Fulera, which one do you prefer?
I did when they requested it. I did it when they requested it. But I think upfront also fast tracked their application process.
Agree.
But it's all about if you want to, because when you submit it without the medicals and they request for medicals, you have this hope that your application will go through, because at that point, the only thing stopping you from getting the visa would be any underlying medical conditions. But if you do it before, that is not guaranteed. But at least you've paid money to do it, and it's like taking a risk. So whichever one you want to do it, if you do it before, you've taken a risk by paying to do the medicals, and anything can happen, but it can fast track your application process, and you wait for them to request for it. It's also good, like it gives you the upper hand that your application would go through if there is no underlying medical condition. Yeah, so whichever one you feel like your guts tells you to do, like go for it.
I think based on what the two of you just said, I think I'll go with it as well. I just changed my mind. I'd rather you guys get it done before submitting instead of waiting for it, right? So again, for the medicals, it might be expensive. So if you guys are a bit stretched financially, then you can decide to delay it a bit and submit your documents and wait for them to call you. By the time they call you, you might have gathered some few cities to go do the medicals. But if you know you already have the money with you and you want to fast track it, as Latif and Fulera rightly mentioned, then I don't think there is any disadvantage to doing it ahead of time and getting it fast tracked as soon as possible. Yeah, so again, guys, so that's the medical side of things. If you have the money, please just follow what Latif did and Fulera just mentioned right now. Now, let me just stop at the medical side of things. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. I'm just going to go off briefly, few seconds, and get back on, and you guys can reconnect. Then we can move on to the documents. I'll show you guys what documents you need. We have samples, which is good news, and then we can start working on it as soon as possible. So we'll stop at medicals. I'll just break here. You guys can join just after this in 10 seconds. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.